Hi everyone, my name is Pierre and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do an astrology video because I haven't tried it yet on this channel and astrology is one of my favorite topics. So today I wanted to share my perspective on each zodiac sign. Just as a disclaimer, there's a lot of nuance to astrology and um, you may relate or may not relate to what I'm going to say in this video because, you know, it, it's really dependent on all of your planets, your houses, your aspects, degrees. There's so much little moving parts. So I just want to say that before starting the video. So the first sign of the zodiac is Aries. When I think of Aries placements, I think of people who are just not afraid to stand up for somebody. They're not afraid to confront somebody or start a fight. They're really bold. They're really impulsive. They can be impulsive, but they can also be very intuitive. But because of how impulsive Aries placements can be, I also find them to be very reckless. I just noticed that whenever I'm around somebody with Aries placements, they tend to say something offensive or say something just out of line. And, I do think that, it's admirable when somebody isn't afraid to say something controversial or to, stand up for somebody quick or, charge into a situation quickly. But there is also a negative side to that where they kind of just don't think before they do something. They definitely have that tendency to think before they act. Aries is also a fire sign, and I feel like it's the most fiery fire sign. Um, if Aries placements really do encapsulate that kind of like um, passionate, impulsive, kind of like quick moving energy. They can be really fearless, and that's something that I really like about Aries placements. The next sign of the zodiac is Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. It's ruled by Venus, and its symbol is the bull. Although its symbol is the bull, I don't feel like Taurus placements charge into a situation that often. I think that when they can get mad, they can definitely, you know, they can be quick tempered, but Taurus placements really just love to like take their time with things and really build stability with everything that they do. Taurus placements also really care about self-care, beauty, style, appearance. They are ruled by Venus. Um, and they also just really care about like having a down-to-earth connection with things and um, just having a sense of comfort. They really value their comfort. They really value their stability, their money, their money especially. Um, you know, as I said before, with the downside of Taurus placements, they can be quick-tempered, they can be stubborn. That's a big stereotype of Taurans. Um, but they are really caring. They are really caring, and there's that like earthy, um, nurturing side to them as well. The next sign of the zodiac is Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. It's ruled by Mercury, and its symbol is the twins. Gemini placements do get a very bad rap online and just like in general. I would argue it's one of the most hated zodiac signs. And that's because they're just not afraid to do or say something that people won't like. They're not afraid to be controversial. They're not afraid to stand out or have the unpopular opinion. They are ruled by Mercury, so they love to talk. They love to talk, and they could even be, big gossips. Not only do they love to, talk about people and maybe talk about a lot of things. Um, but I feel like they kind of like to be talked about as well. Another thing about Gemini placements is that they are extremely smart. As I mentioned, they're ruled by Mercury. Um, Gemini and Virgo placements are ruled by Mercury, and they just tend to, you know, uh, like soak up a lot of information at once, and they just need to share with somebody. And yeah, Gemini placements are very, very intelligent, very curious. They love to be stimulated. They love anything that like stimulates their mind. Um, and they love socializing as well. They can be social butterflies. And even though they do get quite a bad reputation, I feel like there is a very, you know, admirable quality to them. The quality of, not being afraid to stand out, not being afraid to be unique and like try something different or be seen as different. So that's something I do love about Gemini placements. The next sign of the zodiac is Cancer. Cancer is a water sign, it's ruled by the moon, and its symbol is the crab. Cancer placements are very nurturing, very caring, very intuitive. They have the reputation of being crybabies. And, although that may be true, I think that, they're just very emotionally intelligent, and um, they really value their family and people who feel like family. They value their home life, and I feel like Cancer placements care a lot about making people feel good, and that can come off as people pleasing. Um, but they are just very like sensitive souls, and that's something I appreciate about Cancer placements myself. The next sign of the zodiac is Leo. Leo is a fire sign, it's ruled by the sun, and its symbol is the lion. Leos have the reputation of being the center of attention, loving attention, and the way that I see it is that just as the sun is the center of the solar system, Leos like to be the center of attention. Or, even when Leo placements don't try to take up the attention, they mostly do. um, I think of Leo energy as like generous, it comes from the heart. Um, Strong, I do see Leo placements as very strong, kind of dominating, and also very creative. Um, Leos are very creative. They do encapsulate that kind of inner child energy. And because they love to be seen, because they do like to be acknowledged for their talents, you will find that a lot of Leo placements are in the creative industry. They love to act, they love to dance, they love to sing. Anywhere that they can be recognized. So overall, I like Leo placements. I'm a Leo rising myself. Um, and I do feel like we are really creative people. We really do act from the heart, and um, you know, we do like to be acknowledged for our talent and be acknowledged for the kinds of people that we are. The next sign of the zodiac is Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign, it's ruled by Mercury, and its symbol is the maiden or the virgin. I am a Virgo sun myself. I have many Virgo placements, and I feel like us Virgos are very sensitive and very intuitive. Um, you know, People may see us as really shy, which we can be, but I feel like, you know, we do tend to be more on the introverted side. We do tend to like more time by ourselves and have a more reserved energy to us. Um, and we can definitely be picky. We can definitely be picky. That is a big stereotype of Virgo placements, that we just have really high standards, And we can be big perfectionists. We have since we have high standards, we set them for ourselves, but we also set them for, everything and everyone around us. So because of that, we can deal with anxiety. Um, but I feel like us Virgo placements are very caring, very nurturing. Virgo is a very healing sign. We do like to help people. We do love to, um, teach people. Because we're ruled by Mercury, we do have a lot of just information in our minds, and we do just love to talk to people about just anything that we're interested in, or we love to, you know, tell people facts that they might have never known prior. Um, so yeah, I feel like when we can be kind of, we can kind of keep to ourselves a lot as at first, but once you get to know us, we start to open up more and really just talk a lot. We can talk a lot and just, um, yeah, you'll find that Virgo placements are just really good friends. The next sign of the zodiac is Libra. Libra is an air sign, it's ruled by Venus, and its symbol is the scales. Libra placements care a lot about balance and harmony because, their symbol is the scales. Um, because they're ruled by Venus, they do care a lot about beauty and style. You'll find that a lot of Libra placements are complimented for, their good looks or their style or their, just the way that they kind of go about things, go about interactions in like a charming way. Um, with Libra placements, I feel like they can be sensitive on the more sensitive side. I feel like with the air signs, you don't really think of any of them as like too sensitive, but um, if I had to pick one air sign that's maybe more on the like emotional side, or more on the emotional side, I would probably pick Libra. Um, they can have the reputation of being people pleasers, but I don't really see that much. I'm a Libra moon myself, and I do think that I like it better when people, like me and when I get along with people. But I don't really feel like I need people to like me. Um, Also the thing about Libra placements is they do like to keep the peace. They do like for, you know, everyone and everything around them to be like peaceful, for everyone to get along. Um, so it can cause some discomfort when people around them are like in a conflict. They can get uncomfortable with conflict or with arguments or confrontation. Um, but you'll find that Libra placements are just really great friends. They do, since they are ruled by Venus, they do really value friendship and connection with other people and love, sharing love, giving love, receiving love. And it's the same with Taurus placements as well, because they are, because they are also ruled by Venus. The next sign of the zodiac is Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign, it's ruled by Mars, and its symbol is the scorpion. Scorpio is also one of those signs that can have a bad reputation. I feel like Scorpios and Geminis, are hated a lot within this community, or, kind of just in general. Um, with Scorpio placements, they don't like anything that is surface level. They really want to connect with people on a very deep, very transformative, passionate level. Um, they don't like small talk, they don't like just shallow conversations. They want relationships, they want connections that will really transform them. Scorpio is also a really powerful sign. They encapsulate a lot of power and a lot of intensity, and not a lot of people can handle that, or not a lot of people can handle kind of the deepness of Scorpio placements. But you'll find that they are really loyal people, and they really do approach things in an extremely intuitive and passionate manner. The next sign of the zodiac is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's ruled by Jupiter, and its symbol is the archer. When I think of Sagittarius placements, I think of just really fun people, people who aren't afraid to try new things or to have new adventures. They're extremely open minded. They're interested in topics like philosophy and religion. They just love to explore. They love to just learn more about other people and other cultures. They really just don't take things really seriously. Because Sagittarius is a mutable sign, they do have the reputation of like being kind of like flaky in a sense, where they kind of just move from one thing to the next really fast. But I think that really does show their kind of carefree, free spirited energy. Um, that can be a downside of Sagittarius placements, that they may have commitment issues. But you'll find that they're really great people. They really do show their love and care in grand, spontaneous ways. They're extremely spontaneous. They really do, encapsulate that phrase of like go big or go home. Um, yeah, they're just really great people, and I think having a Sagittarius placement in your life just is a lot of fun. The next sign of the zodiac is Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. It's ruled by Saturn, and its symbol is the goat. When I think of Capricorn placements, I think of people who may be seen as really cold and stern on the outside, but they do have a sensitive and emotional side to them that they may not always like to show. Because Capricorn placements are ruled by Saturn, I feel like there's a big life lesson of discipline that they need to learn within their lives, big karmic lessons as well. I also feel like Capricorns are really old souls, and, you know, really old souls and just very wise souls as well. You'll find that a lot of Capricorn placements are wise beyond their years, um, and just very intelligent. I feel like Capricorn is another one of those signs that's hated a lot within this community, or just, in general. Um, and I think that could be due to their cold energy, as I've mentioned. Um, and I do feel that as if Capricorn placements can really project their own issues onto others. Similar with Scorpio placements, I find that with like Scorpio and Capricorn placements, as they do, I feel, go through a lot of challenges within life, and it can be hard for them not to project um that negativity and that hurt onto other people. Um, but I don't feel like that's always the case. And I do feel like Capricorn placements do become more soft as you get to know them and really make them more comfortable. The next sign of the zodiac is Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. It's ruled by Uranus, and its symbol is the water bearer. Aquarius placements love anything that has to do with technology and innovation. They love to keep things moving. They, just like water is moving, so is the mindset of Aquarians. They love to do anything that, challenges people's perspectives or viewpoints. I feel like similar to Gemini, Aquarius placements just are not afraid to be eccentric or unique. I feel like a lot of Aquarius placements are known for, their unique energy. And they can have the reputation of being detached or, not really showing their emotions that much. Um, but they are really great friends and they are extremely intelligent people. Um, they're very forward thinking. They think a lot about, they're just very great at um, absorbing a lot of information. As I've mentioned, I feel like that is something with the air signs specifically. Air signs are, connected to technology, the mind, logic. So you'll find that, a lot of air placements are just really smart people. The last sign of the zodiac is Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. It's ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, and its symbol is the fish. When I think of Pisces placements, I think of people who are creative, intuitive, and spiritual. Pisces placements do have the reputation of getting really stuck in their heads, daydreaming a lot of the time, but that makes them really imaginative and, as I said, creative people. People with Pisces placements may find that it's harder to think with your head than your heart. Um, you know, Pisces placements really do have like a floaty, sort of dreamy energy to them, where it's hard for them to really, you know, ground themselves from time to time. But on the other side of that, I feel like it's admirable, to. I find it admirable that Pisces use their intuition as much as they do. They act off of their intuition and their imagination, which is really cool. And they're overall just really sweet people. So that was my perspective on each zodiac sign. I hope you guys liked the video. As I said at the beginning of this video, there's a lot of nuance to astrology, and you might not relate to every single thing that I said in this video about your sun sign. But there's your moon sign, there's your rising, all of your planets, your degrees, your houses, aspects. There's so much that goes into astrology. And I think that what matters most is that you find what you resonate with, and and it helps you in some sort of way. So yeah, thank you for watching this video and have a great day. Bye.